Hello guys, Crypto Kong here. In this video I'm going to show you how to set up the staggered orders strategy that we've been using in the market makers community room. In this strategy we don't really speculate on price direction. You know, we're not bothered if it's bullish or bearish. All we really want is a lot of volatility, filling lots of our orders, and for the price to stay within our selected range. So this is going to be quite or more of a long-term strategy for me. I'm going to set my lower boundary at about $0.05, which is around here. As in my personal opinion, I can't see it going back to that price anytime soon. So I think that's quite a safe boundary. At the top here, you know, the all-time high is just under $1. I'm going to set my upper range, my upper boundary to $5 because again, I can't see it breaking out of there anytime soon. So I think that's quite a safe range. So yeah, I'm going to work within $0.05 and $5. Okay, so next I'll move on to the spreadsheet and show you how to calculate your increments and place your orders. Right, so once you've decided on the range for your strategy, if you just nip back to the DEX and have a look at the current price, 0.2550, and then head back to the spreadsheet, just type that in there, 0.2550. Okay, I've already put some formulas in. This spreadsheet's available in the market making room, so it automatically works out your orders. I'm going to use 5% increments. Okay, so if we just scroll down, I said that I was going to set my strategy to 0.05, so we don't need to go all the way down there. So let's delete those ones. But I did say I was going to go up to $5, so if we just select a few of those and drag down. Okay. Yeah, so delete those ones. So we now have all of the orders that I need to place on the DEX. So next what I'll do is I'll copy these into my other spreadsheet, I'll organise my other spreadsheet, and then once they're all in the correct order, then I'll start placing orders on the DEX. Okay, so here's one I did the other day. As you can see, the price is slightly different. We just inputted 2.2550. This is the starting point is 0.25, but as you can see, all of my orders are in all the way up to $5.14 and all the way down to $0.0510. Okay, in this column, this is where you write your order value. Every order should be the same. So I'm going to have $100 orders all the way. This column, I've inputted a formula, as you can see here, and that actually calculates the value of BitShares for your orders, which is quite important on the sell side, because you're not selling dollars, you're selling BitShares, even though the order is valued at $100. Okay, so once you've set that up, the next step is to input all of those orders onto the DEX, which is going to take quite a while and be extremely boring. But once you've done it, that's it, you're set up, and hopefully this strategy should last a long time, and after that there's very little work involved. So that's what I'm going to do next, start inputting the orders. Right guys, I've inputted all my orders now. It took about 20 minutes, so it's not that bad. There's about 100 orders that I had to input. Okay, so as you can see here in my open orders, I've got quite a few open now. I won't scroll down all of them, but if we scroll up a bit, you can see where the buy and the sells meet at 0.2375, and it should have actually been 0.262, but one of them is actually filled. So now we'll go back to the spreadsheet and I'll show you what to do when an order fills. Okay, so as you can see here, 0.2375, and then there's a gap in the middle, 0.25. Always keep that gap, and when the price goes up and down there should always be a gap. Okay, so if we go back to the DEX, we see I've got 0.2375 should be the highest buy, which it is. And back to the DEX, and the sell, the red one, 0.275. So as you can see, this one has been filled. So what I do is I delete that out of there. I take the colour away from that. So now we've got two gaps. So because a sell order has been filled, what we want to do now is replace it with a lower buy order. So as you can see on the DEX, here's the order that's been filled, the sell order. When that happens, if we scroll up, you can see that I've now got a balance . Sorry, just bear with me, my laptop's very slow. It's about 10 years old. So I've now got a balance of 100 bit USD. So I want to replace that with a lower buy order, which is 0.25. So I'll type 0.25 in there. And click on that, $100. Place a buy order. Confirm. And that's now gone through. Ignore the 100 BTS I've got there, because I always leave some BitShares in there, because you need to be able to pay the fees when you're placing orders, so you need to keep something in there really. As time goes on, you will accumulate more BitShares, so there will always be some in there. Okay, so now if we go back to the spreadsheet, what I do is I make that green. And I'll fill in the order value in there. And I just do that to make it easy, because it can get a bit confusing when you first start out. So just always do that, and that should help you keep track. What we'll do is we'll just fill in these columns to start off with as well. So accumulated BitShares are normally just that's just your balance here. So we'll just start that off at 100. Okay. Total BitShares, that's all of the BitShares in the account, so it's all the value of all your orders. So what you do is you select this column here all the way down, just on your sell side, because on the buy side they're dollars. You're buying BitShares with dollars, so just select the sell side, and if you press Control on your accumulated column as well, at the bottom, you can't actually see it on my screen. There you go, you can see it now. So the total is 7,330. We don't need to necessarily do the decimal point there with the BitShares. It's up to you how much detail you want to go in. 7330.5. Okay. Total dollars, that's the amount on the buy side. So just select your dollars there. And we have a total of 3,200. And your midpoint, 0.2625. I've typed a formula in here to calculate the account value, and it uses this information in order to calculate that. The reason I do that is because of sometimes the lack of liquidity in some markets. Not everybody will be working the BitShares, BitUSD market. I personally work also Litecoin USD, and the liquidity is not very good on there. So when the account value is shown on the DEX, if there aren't very many orders on the books, the account value can fluctuate because it's based on closing your entire position, all the positions on the account immediately. So it can give you varying account values depending on what orders are actually on the DEX. So I find it easier to calculate. It's just so that going forward you can compare. What I've also added is a volume column. So if we go over here and look at the volume, 600k, I just type that in, just so that going forward you can compare, you know, how many orders you get filled, things like that. It's just so you can see busy or quiet days, really. And what I also tend to do is just type up some notes in there some days, just to, so looking back you can see what's happened. Okay. So I'll leave that for now. I'll wait for some more orders to fill. That could take minutes, could take hours, it could take a day or so. Once another order fills, I'll come back and we shall adjust this again. And that's it for now. I should probably actually also point out that it might look like I've used a lot of money for this strategy with all these $100 orders, but they're actually $100 worth of BitShares, and at these high price, as you'll see, it's only 19.42 BitShares there. So I've actually done this strategy on this account with a total of 7,300 BitShares and $3,200. Obviously it depends on what range. You might feel that $5 is too high, you might want to only go to $1, you might not want to go all the way down to 0.05, you might think that 0.15 is okay. So it depends on your range. But for now we'll wait until a few more orders fill and then we'll come back. Morning guys, I'm back because another order is filled. As you can see here, buy order has been filled at 0.25. If we scroll up you can see there's now 499 BTS there. So if we go back to my spreadsheet, remove the information from this order like we did on the last one. Just remove the colour from there. Okay, so because our highest buy order has been filled, we're going to replace it with a sell order, 0.2625. So if we go back to the DEX, $0.2625. In there. $100 order. Okay, that order's now been placed. If we scroll down, you can see that our highest buy is 0.2375 and our lowest sell is 0.2625. So if we go back here, just make that one red again, add the order amount in there. Okay, and I'll just update the spreadsheet now. So I would normally, I mean, it doesn't have to be bang on, but I would normally try and keep track of this at the same time every day, but I'll just update it now because we've had another order filled and the accumulated BitShares will have changed. Okay, so accumulated BitShares is 119. So we'll go back to the spreadsheet. Total BitShares, that's all of the BitShares on your sell side plus your accumulated. So we just select that, scroll back up, press Control, down here 7730.5. Total dollars, that's on the buy side. $3,100. And the midpoint is 0.25. Okay, and we'll just nip back and see what the volume is. 857. Okay, and we just keep track like that. So when keeping track of the strategy, it can get a little confusing. So as you can see here, we've accumulated an extra 19 BitShares. That's probably what you should focus on, because here you can see the total BitShares is now increased by 400, whereas the total dollars have dropped by 100. The reason for that is the drop in the price. As the price, let me just scroll down a minute. As the price moves down, like it has done, the value of all of your BitShares become worth less. So you still hold the same amount of BitShares in your sell orders, but because of the drop in price, they become worth less. So that means that the account value actually drops. So what I do is on days where a similar price, so look at the midpoint. So what I would do is I would perhaps just colour that in and make it yellow. Now when the price returns to 0.2625, I'll highlight that day yellow and then I'll compare the account value. It's the easiest way to keep track. It can be deceiving. You can look at the account value and think, oh, I'm losing money, but the strategy, as long as the price stays within your boundary, you've still got the same amount of orders set, you haven't lost anything. It's just to compare. You need to compare the account values. You need to be comparing on days where the price is the same. As you can see, we've accumulated an extra 19 BitShares, but the account value is worth less at the moment. Ideally, in an ideal world, you would close or finish this strategy on a day where the price was the exact same price as you started. So yeah, I just thought I'd mention that just to save confusion. Right, that's it for now. Anyway, I'll probably update this in a few days when we've had more orders filled. Hopefully, have a few days where there's similar prices, so I can highlight so you can see it a bit more clearer. But that's it for now. Cheers.